Hello, my dear viewers. Today we will look at the episode Down. Let's begin. On the eve of Valentine's Day in a high-rise office building, the festive atmosphere is subdued as employees head out early, eager to begin their long weekend. Jennifer, a driven career woman with her sights set on climbing the corporate ladder, is among the last to leave. Her work is her life, and even the allure of a holiday can't pull her away from her desk until she's satisfied with her day's accomplishments. Meanwhile, Guy, a charismatic and smooth-talking stranger, finishes his duties for the day. His role in the building is less clear, and every man who seems to blend into the background, yet his presence is felt. As the building empties, their paths converge in a way that seems, at first glance, to be the result of happenstance, a chance encounter between two people in an elevator. Initially, the situation is merely inconvenient. The elevator's abrupt stop between floors is an annoyance, an unwelcome delay in the face of well-laid plans and anticipated celebrations. Jennifer's frustration is palpable. Her need to maintain control and efficiency in her life clashes with the sudden halt of progress. Guy, on the other hand, exudes a calm demeanor, almost as if the disruption is an expected part of life's unpredictable nature. As minutes turn into hours, the true nature of their confinement begins to dawn on them. There will be no quick rescue, no easy exit. The building's security systems are down for the holiday, and they are alone, seemingly forgotten by the world outside the steel walls that encase them. Panic begins to set in for Jennifer, while Guy maintains an air of mysterious tranquility, his backstory slowly unraveling as the night progresses. The beginning of the episode is punctuated by a series of flashbacks, providing glimpses into Jennifer's life, her ambitions, the pressure she faces, and the personal sacrifices she's made in the name of success. These moments are contrasted with the enigmatic nature of Guy, whose history remains shrouded in shadow, a puzzle that Jennifer and the audience becomes increasingly eager to solve. As the first night draws to a close, the elevator becomes a microcosm of the larger world, a confined stage where power dynamics, social norms, and personal insecurities are magnified. The forced intimacy of the space strips away the characters' facades, laying bare their vulnerabilities and setting the stage for the psychological and emotional journey that will unfold. The initial civility between Jennifer and Guy soon begins to fray as the elevator remains their prison. Jennifer, her anxiety mounting with each passing hour, starts to peel back the layers of Guy's carefully constructed facade. Their conversation, a dance of probing questions and evasive answers, becomes a mental game of cat and mouse. With each of Guy's anecdotes, Jennifer senses the inconsistencies, the subtle tells that hint at a deeper, perhaps darker, history than the one he presents. The closeness of their confinement brings an uncomfortable intimacy. Jennifer finds herself oscillating between distrust and an empathetic connection to this man, who is her only companion in this ordeal. As they share their fears and regrets, a picture begins to emerge of two very different lives brought together by fate in the most unlikely of circumstances. Guy's charm, which at first seemed to be a means of easing the tension, starts to wear thin, and Jennifer becomes increasingly suspicious of his motives. She starts to question whether their meeting was truly an accident. Meanwhile, Guy seems to take a peculiar interest in Jennifer's personal life, asking probing questions that feel too intimate, too targeted to be casual. Amidst the psychological tension, the episode weaves in flashbacks and visions that blur the line between reality and imagination, heightening the sense of claustrophobia and disorientation. Jennifer's mind races as she tries to keep a grip on her sanity, piecing together the fragments of Guy's story. While outside the elevator, the world continues on, oblivious to their plight. The story intensifies as Jennifer discovers a personal item of hers in Guy's possession, a revelation that sends her into a panic. She confronts him, and the confrontation is a pivotal moment, shifting the power dynamic between them. Guy's demeanor cracks, and the man who seemed so in control reveals flashes of anger and impatience. As the second day dawns, Jennifer's will to escape and reclaim her agency grows stronger. She becomes more proactive, examining the elevator for any overlooked means of escape, refusing to be a passive victim to circumstances. Simultaneously, Guy's true nature becomes more apparent, revealing a complexity and depth that is both compelling and unsettling to Jennifer and the audience alike. In this middle part of the episode, Into the Dark delves deeper into the psychological thriller genre. The storytelling is methodical, each scene ratcheting up the suspense. The elevator, once a symbol of modern efficiency, has become a sinister trap, and the isolation transforms it into an arena where psychological warfare is waged with words and glances as much as with actions. As the trapped pair confront the reality of their situation, the layers of their personas continue to unravel. Jennifer's initial panic has transformed into a steely resolve. She's no longer just a victim of an unfortunate circumstance, but a woman determined to survive. Her transformation is mirrored by the increasingly ominous revelations about Guy, whose once charming eccentricities now seem like calculated manipulations. Guy's backstory begins to unfurl in earnest, with pieces of his past hinting at a troubled history and possible motivations for orchestrating the current situation. Jennifer, armed with nothing but her wits, starts to see the patterns in his behavior, the calculated risks he takes in each interaction, and the cold calculation behind his once warm eyes. The tension in the elevator becomes palpable. The small space, once a mere inconvenience, now feels like a battleground where psychological dominance is fought for with every word and gesture. Jennifer and Guy find themselves in a high-stakes emotional chess match, with each trying to outmaneuver the other without giving away their own vulnerabilities. Their conversations, once filled with the banalities of two strangers trying to pass the time, now teem with underlying threats and revelations. The dialogue crackles with intensity, each line a potential clue to the truth behind their predicament. Jennifer begins to realize that her escape from the elevator might require more than just waiting for rescue. It might necessitate a confrontation with the very essence of fear itself. As Jennifer probes for weaknesses in Guy's story and in the elevator's mechanics, the suspense climbs. The viewers are treated to a series of tense sequences that blend claustrophobic terror with the dread of the unknown. The elevator's confined space is a character in itself, a steel trap that reflects the isolation and desperation of the human condition. This third segment of Into the Dark builds to a climax where the psychological battle between Jennifer and Guy reaches a breaking point. The elevator, once a symbol of progress and modernity, has become a nightmarish cell that holds more than just physical barriers. It's a psychological puzzle that Jennifer must solve if she hopes to emerge not just alive, but whole. The episode's direction is tight, focusing on the minutiae of their interactions, the play of light and shadow across their faces, the subtle shifts in body language that speak volumes. The camera work is claustrophobic, enhancing the viewer's immersion in the unfolding drama. In the climax of Into the Dark Season 1, Episode 5, the tension that has been building reaches its peak. Jennifer, who has become increasingly resourceful and determined, is no longer just trying to survive, she's fighting back. She has discovered enough about Guy to know that he is not just a simple bystander, caught in an unfortunate event, but maybe the architect of her nightmare. The dynamic between them has fully shifted. Where once Guy seemed to be in control, offering comfort and friendly conversation, he now appears cornered, his true nature exposed. Jennifer, harnessing her fear and turning it into fuel for her survival, becomes the aggressor, challenging Guy and refusing to be a pawn in his twisted game. The episode's tension is heightened by the claustrophobic setting of the elevator, which has become a psychological prison. As the realization dawns on Jennifer that help is not coming, she takes matters into her own hands. In a desperate attempt for freedom, she manages to trigger the elevator's emergency systems, causing it to jolt into motion. The sudden movement is disorienting, and in the chaos, a struggle ensues. Jennifer and Guy grapple in the confined space, the fight a physical manifestation of their psychological war. It's a desperate, visceral conflict, underscored by the knowledge that for Jennifer, this may be her only chance at escape. In a final twist, it's revealed that Guy's intentions were even darker than Jennifer suspected, but her resilience and ingenuity give her the upper hand. She outsmarts Guy, leveraging her newfound knowledge against him. In a harrowing finale, Jennifer overpowers Guy, securing her release from the elevator and, symbolically, from the terror that held her captive. As the doors finally open, Jennifer emerges not just as a survivor, but as someone who has reclaimed her power. She's battered and bruised, her ordeal evident in her physical appearance, but there's a newfound strength in her gaze. She's been through the darkness and come out the other side transformed.